Hello viewers, and thank you very much for joining us on The People Show. As always on this show, we bring you real people who do real things. This is a show that inspires you, educates you, and brings you to power with all that is happening around you. Today we have with us in studio two, not one, two very special guests who have visited us from very far away, of course, across, outside our borders. And I hope that you will enjoy the show. And at the end of the show as well, you will be educated and inspired to know more than you do right now. Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
Welcome to the show. Maybe we start with our first guest who will introduce himself.
Okay, thank you so much, first of all. My name is Abdullah Ilhaq. I'm from Sudan.
Right.
Yes, I'm working for TVU Networks. It's an American company. I'm the managing director of sales in Sales Director Africa.
All right.
Yeah.
Karibu sana.
Thank you so much.
Our next
Asante.
guest.
Again, as he said, it's a pleasure for me to be here. My name is Raymond Simmons. I'm from the United States. I've been with TVU Networks for now in my 8th year. I am the first engineer that was actually hired in the United States.
All right.
So I'm trying to bring my experience to Africa and help Africa to bring their usage of TVU up to where we are in the rest of the world.
All right. Well, it's a pleasure to have you guys in studio
Yes,
on GBS TV and, of course, on The People Show.
Thank you so
Now, maybe just to start off, if you will just tell us a little bit about TVU.
Okay, I'll take that question, being
right.
that I've been with the company a bit
enough,
longer.
yeah.
TVU is a mobile uplink solutions company. We've been around since 2006. We're in 2,500 TV stations across 85 countries. So we have lots of experience now in doing this type of transmission. And it's basically it's the technology that replaces satellite microwave transmissions. And we're helping TV stations now to bring video and content to users in a whole new way.
All right. Now, what inspired coming to Kenya, to be particular? Is Kenya your first African market?
It's not the first African market, but it's the first that we've really focused on in a big way.
All right.
And much of that is attributed to Nairobi in particular, being one of the fastest growing centers of technology, at least in Central America.
Definitely.
And then, of course, being that Abdallah is very close by, it just makes sense.
All right. So, well, I think that speaks volumes also about Kenya in terms of technology. I mean, I have the rights to brag on this because we are leading most countries.
Yes.
Yes.
But my question maybe to you guys as we start off is maybe directed to Abdallah. Being so close to Kenya, and of course, before the show, as you were speaking, you've had an experience. You've visited Kenya several times, although on a different platform. But Kenya is one of the few African countries that complied with the digital deadline, like the digital migration deadline.
Yes.
In the whole of Africa. I think it was the second after South Africa, if I'm not wrong. And with that, all broadcasters at this moment, as we speak, are under the digital broadcasting, system or platform. Having said this, what do you think that your company is bringing to broadcasters? He did mention, but then I would like you to expound more on this, that other players who are also providing almost similar services to what you guys are doing, what is TVC bringing in differently into the Kenyan market?
Well, we, as my colleague Raymond mentioned, that it's a mobile video or mobile uplink video solution.
Yes.
We mainly we focus on doing what we are doing. It is all of it is online.
Yes.
So even with the internet, we completely bust that composite and analog systems.
All right.
Now we are working with a fully digital system.
Yes.
Our devices, our technology, even we have an output 4K out of our transceivers.
All right.
While most of the people right now they're not ready for 4K.
Okay.
But TVU right now we are ready for 4K. So our transmitters, our receivers, our software solutions, it is mostly based on a full HD quality.
All right.
So even for us, our device, they can't accept an input from analog cameras.
All right.
All the cameras that we are using is a digital cameras. So we are sending a digital signal, receiving a digital signal. So each TV station, they want to do their immigration, they will find us in front of them, having that technology.
Having that technology.
Yes,
as well.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, because what you say makes a lot of sense. Most TV stations, of course, I know in Kenya, haven't reached that level of doing like full HD.
Yeah.
But then they have to scale down so that they can be able to broadcast material even that comes in at that level.
Well, it's not like that actually. Our back can accept it, but it must be digital.
All right.
Okay. So as I know, most of the cameras now, they are digital cameras.
Yes.
But it is not like part of them, they are not 4K.
Okay.
Part of them are full HD. But we can accept the camera. Our devices will accept its auto-detect for the signal.
All right.
So wherever the feed is coming here, SDI or SDI, HD or SDI, SD, we can accept out our device. So we send to our transceiver. So we have a different level of output. So you can select.
Right.
Do you want it to be a full HD
Right.
or no, it's still working on the standard definition? Then you can have it standard definition.
Okay.
But you can find wherever you want to find. From now up to next 10, coming next 10 years, also you can find that's a 4K. Okay. We're still having that.
We still
now.
have that.
Yes, it's ready. Yes.
Maybe to Raymond. Today we've had many companies come to us and speak to the publics, and even, I mean, the common citizens, in Kenya we call them common mwananchi, when they see these advertisements, and then we advertise this full HD, we give them all these technical terms. Of course, if they have money in their pockets, then they would want to go for that which seem to be like more developed. But then at the end of the day, what mostly happens is people tend to find themselves in a fix whereby what they bought, what they had, their expectations are not met in terms of what was sold to them is not really what they receive. So in terms of applicability, what would you say that, how would you term where TVU comes in terms of your equipments now giving the real value to the end user?
Well, I mean, let's face it, things are changing rapidly.
Yes.
And the other thing, too, you can't ignore is that people now are getting content in so many different ways.
Yes.
Traditionally, people would get their news and entertainment. They would get it off of a television that was sitting in the family room, and everyone would look at the same channel. Everyone would consume the same content in the same way. It's not like that anymore.
Sure.
Everyone now, they have a phone in their pockets. Everyone now are on the go. Everyone is getting their content from so many different ways.
Yes.
You're getting it from Facebook. You're getting it from Twitter. You have some people who are still getting it from the television. And people are so mobile now that they never take time to sit and watch TV. They're watching it on the bus ride to work.
Sure.
Even you see people walking along on the sidewalk consuming the content.
Definitely. Yes.
Well, TVU, we've learned to adapt to the way that people are consuming the content. And the goal is to allow you, the broadcaster, to be able to deliver it in extremely high quality in the way that they want to receive this. And you have to make sure, regardless of the platform that they have available to them, they're getting the content that they want and the content that you really feel that they need, or at least the information that they need, and allowing them to consume it in the way that it makes sense for them. So we have learned to adapt to the way that that the consumers are consuming this content. So that's.
in terms of quality, maybe if you can just expound a little bit, in terms of the quality when it comes to output, what you put out there, we know that sometimes, yes, new technologies come in, but then at the end of the day, yes, broadcasters will use your new technology, but then their clients who are now the people consuming the material that they put out don't really get the quality that the broadcasters themselves put out because of compatibility in terms of, upscaling of the gadgets they use as opposed to what the broadcasters are sending out.
Well, that's an ever-moving target. And, it's not just the news organizations that's putting out the content. It's a collaboration between the news organizations and the manufacturers of these devices. And this is all getting better day by day. And, and the challenge for us, though, is you have to be able to scale this stuff, because the scalability is most important, because the quality of the content that you deliver to a TV doesn't have to be the exact same quality that's being delivered to a portable device, because of the size of the screen. So if we are pushing like 4K to a small device, sometimes that can get lost. But everything, it will all will improve as our handheld devices actually catch up with the content that we're actually pushing out. So it's a collaboration. Unfortunately, we're not all working together because there's yet to be standards in place for this. But it will all come together. I'm certain of that.
Now, Abdi, you mentioned briefly about a meeting that you had in Nairobi. Tell us a little bit about what this was all about, and how was your interaction with the players that you did meet this time as you were in Nairobi?
Well, to my understanding, or to our understanding, is Kenya is a leading country in East and Central Africa. So, unfortunately, we just later start thinking serious about Africa as an, you see, American company. We just focus in the United States market and the Europe market and the Asia market.
The Asian market.
Yes, exactly. So, like 2 years ago, start thinking about this region or this area. So we started with Nairobi because we thought there's a lot of TV stations here. I think the total even more than 70 TV stations, isn't it? Yes.
73, 74, I think.
Exactly, yes. Correct. It's a big number. And you have like a great TV station network, like most of them, like the MultiChoice, the Super Sport, yes, exactly, StarTime. So most of them, they are here. So to our understand, if you start doing a demonstration for your demos or what you are doing in a place like Nairobi, that will be like all other the nearby countries like Tanzania, Uganda, Rwanda, CRD, Sudan also. All of them, they start focus what is coming from Nairobi. So this is the main point. People here are more advantaged than others. So when we offer the people here our products and they like it and they use it, so this will open the other markets for us. So then the other thing that the people here could easily understand this technology because they are familiar with the latest technology around the world. So if you want to offer this to, let's say that I don't want to mention countries in name, but if I offer this in another country, I'm not going to expect the same feedback that I'm getting here in Nairobi because I know the people here, they know everything about the technology. So when it comes to something like this, it is easy for me to explain for them what is this, what are we doing. What is TVU? So people can easily just go to the internet and write down TVUnetworks.com and they can find out what are you doing. In fact, there's a lot of things that I think Raymond is going to tell us about the other things that TVU is doing. It's not just sending a live feed. Yes, it's beyond that. Yes. So this is why we start with the Nairobi market.
So as you during this time with the broadcasters that you met, you're satisfied and you are confident that you made the right move this time?
Yes, absolutely. In fact, we have been here since last year.
All right.
And we sold a lot of units to in the local market. We're starting with KBC, the state
leading-
TV station,
state
yes.
TV station,
That's
yeah.
during the election, and they did very well with our units,
All right.
covering the elections from
Election.
every counties
All right,
around, and also with we had a business with K24, Media Max.
All right.
Also there was like 10 units
Okay.
with them, and there is another small 2 TV station. I just remember the name. However, they all use our unit during the election.
All right.
And you see, that was a real test
Okay.
for our device. You see, we are using the open internet,
All right.
which is a local SIM card loaded with the data. So you take it and go outside with your device to try and send a video to the studio. Well, during the election, most of the people that are carrying their mobile gadgets,
phones, yeah.
using the internet, all the international news agency
Organizations, yeah.
offices, they are coming to Nairobi to cover the election.
Sure.
So imagine the internet, the access to the internet during those days.
It's hectic.
So it's hardly can use your phone
Sure,
to
sure,
access and browse.
It is indeed hectic.
But we did very well during that time where the internet, it is just like hung like this, all the people using the same carrier.
Yeah.
So it was very good for us, and we did a very good test for all those TV stations.
All right.
Now, the workshop that we had 2 days before, it's for like more than, I think, 80. Yes. 80 participants from different TV stations
All right.
and media houses.
And media houses.
Yes, and they are very...
All of them from Kenya or from
Yes,
outside
they
Kenya?
are, actually we got a visitor from, it's a TV station from Rwanda.
All right.
Yes, and the rest are from Nairobi, from here.
Okay.
Yes,
But if I may interject, it was not just broadcasters. It was quite interesting to see you had many people from the religious community.
All right.
And we're finding that they have found this to be a product that would allow them to bring, the news of the church and the things that they're doing to their viewers.
All right.
It kind of, gives them a chance now to be more of a news organization as well. It allows you to now go out into into the community and share things that's going on to the community in the community, bring that back to their congregation.
Definitely.
It allows them to now, during a church service, when you have your older, aging congregation that may get up on a Sunday morning and may not be completely well and may not feel that they can make it to church. Now the church can actually deliver this to social media,
Yes.
so they can still participate in what's going on.
Well, Raymond, I wanted to hold that thought because actually that's the next question that I was going to ask you about.
Okay.
But then I would like also to link that up to the narrative of Africa Rising that we have at this time. Well, viewer, if you're following the conversation, you're watching the People Show. For comments, suggestions, or opinion, you can send that to our email address. That's info@gbskenya.com, or you can send us an SMS on the number 21144. 21144 is the number. We're going to take a short break now, and then when we're back, we're going to bring you more on the same concept that we are continuing with.